Babylon's Ashes. This is the sixth book in the Expanse series, 536 pages with 54 chapters. Really, the only way to describe this is the Free Navy finale, right? So we have the separatist group from the Outer Planets Alliance. You got Earth, you got Mars, and then you have everyone else in the solar system. And so they call themselves the Outer Planets Alliance, OPA for short. And they have different sects or versions, splinter groups. I don't know how to describe it. Factions. That's a good way. So different factions, some that lean towards, peaceful, and then there's the violent side. So the most violent splinter group faction became the Free Navy, and they started dropping asteroids on Earth to make a point. And so that was the last book, and now we're here. So they are, the combat wing of the OPA that's the splintered. So really, they kind of picked a fight with everybody, right? They attacked Earth directly. They have their navy, part of it is stolen from Mars, and then they upset the OPA because they start claiming systems, and they took over Medina Station, put a railgun turret on the space station, the alien space station in the ring gate space. So they kind of upset everyone, not just the balance of the solar system. They upset all other groups. And so those railgun turrets will help prevent people from going through the ring gates, right? So I think book 2 or 3, the ring space opened, and thousands of different solar systems were then available with different livable planets. But they had to go through this ring gate, which then took them to other ring gates. And so Medina Station is the ship from the first and second books that is has the giant drum. It was the generational ship that turned into the traffic control space station called Medina Station. So we had Kreis, I want to say. It's an asteroid station, and the OPA backed out, thinking that Earth would want to retaliate militarily. So Earth, Mars, and the OPA band together and then take over Kreis Station. There's a small battle, but pretty much the Free Navy backs out, and so their thinking is Earth is already depleted and worn out, and they're just going to have to occupy all these spaces that we abandoned. And so the Free Navy has this strategy to then, have Earth be overextended and then to sneak around and grab and attack from behind. So that's their strategy. This is how it plays out. It's quite the battle. It's an enjoyable one. Really, this is kind of setting the stage and getting the pieces in play, but there's a lot of critical things that happen here. Bobby as the commander was one of my favorites, right? You got, the crew of the Roki that have been together so far, and you say, hey, we want, somebody to lead this mission that's not Holden, and everybody's, up in arms, and they're like, who is, we're never going to do this. And then Bobby's like, it's me. That was a really good scene. I really enjoyed that part. So that was fun. I actually really liked the ending. So all the characters from previous books kind of make an appearance here, and it was really cool seeing her again. She's the preacher from, I think, book 3 that was in Medina Station during the outbreak. So it's cool that, for her, it's normal. The idea of normalcy is to hey, I'm just gonna go to another planet and live in a colony or start a new colony or be part of a new colony world. And to me, that was not necessarily mind-blowing, but really cool in that this entire universe of the Expanse series is supposed to be near future human space, but also slightly realistic. So realistic fiction, but in a sci-fi realm. And so this is supposed to be, potentially could happen to us. And, someday we could just decide, hey, I'm going to move to another planet. That could be a normal decision in life. And I thought that was really, really cool. Let's see, there is, of course, the showdown, Wild Wild West out in space. It's Holden versus Marco. And, you know, you've got Philip at the battle station and Naomi at the comm station. So it's really like this epic showdown is kind of in building for 2 or 3 books. And the conclusion is interesting. It affects both sides, but there is more of a final battle. But the initial confrontation, right? Like Holden knows that Naomi's son is on the other ship, right? So does he blow it up? You know, the missiles. It's quite a scene. You'll have to see for yourself. But it is a great kind of no-win situation for both sides, and I liked the way the authors set up that scene and the whole style of this conflict. Really, the Union is kind of the next evolution of the OPA, right? The Outer Planets Alliance was just like a collection of space stations and moons and stuff like that, and then they kind of take it to the next level and become like a shipping you know, monopoly, if for lack of a better word. And really to help manage the traffic of the gates is part of it, but also the commerce, the flow, the licenses and stuff like that. So of course the, you know, the person that suggested the founding is also recommended, but Holden's like, hey, I'm from Earth. I don't know if that's a good idea. You know, Fred unfortunately passes away. Like, I don't know, like every entertainment series I've been a part of, every time they add a new person to, you know, the group, it's always makes me nervous because, you know, that those are usually the ones that, you know, get the axe and get killed off. So I was really nervous when they started describing Fred, and he did, you know, not make it. So I was super bummed. I liked Fred, but he's also from Earth, even though he was the OPA representative. But yeah, so that worked out. Pa, I think it was the original president, but she was the pirate that was originally part of the Free Navy who then rebelled. But that's all in the book. You got to read it to find out for yourself. And Bobby had a really good line. I don't really know where my place in the universe is anymore. And Naomi responded, none of us do. So that was a really powerful line. And there was 2 other quotes in here that I wanted to read for you that stood out to me. The first one is, this is Naomi. We are not people. We're the stories that people tell each other about us. We are fighters. You know, whether someone is lazy, a fighter, a warrior, a scholar. Women are nurturing and sweet and they stay home with the kids. It's always been like that. We always react to the stories about the people, not who they really are. And Holden replied, and look where it got us. So that was like, wow, right? There's, you know, the mask that everybody has, the way they want other people to see them, but there's also the way that others see us and talk about us and the stories behind them. So I don't know, like maybe they just described human psychology, you know, a shorthand version of it in like 2 sentences. That was like crazy. So I enjoyed that part. And then this one here, this is Philip. So he just woke up from a dream, pulling himself along the lift tube. Philip's heart tapped against his chest. The sense of the dream wasn't quite gone, bleeding into the solid ship under his hands. Excitement and dread wore each other's clothes, spoke in the same voice. He was summoned by his father, and that, I think it's called an alliteration. I don't know. Automatopoeia, something like that. Some grammar term that I learned a long time ago was really powerful, wearing the same clothes. Dread, excitement, right? Filled with that fear. Just really cool. So overall, this was a good book. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the conclusion of this series. It's been a wild ride, a fun one, and just an awesome space adventure. I haven't seen the show yet, but once I do finish the series, I plan on watching it. So this was book 6 of the Expanse series, and I highly recommend it. Remember to buy your books used.